days following the attacks, concern and rhetoric turned toward the issue of refugees. In October, from refugee camps in France, we reported on the potential for ISIS terrorists to travel into Europe posing as refugees. This week, a majority of U.S. states have said they will not allow refugees from Syria into their borders due to security concerns. But are Syrian refugees the largest threat when it comes to ISIS infiltrators? Jim Hansen is with the Center for Security Policy, a former member of U.S. Army Special Forces and author of Cut Down the Black Flag, a plan to defeat the Islamic State. In terms of threats, I know that Border Patrol agents and FBI agents are very concerned about the southern border.
Well, we've essentially got an unlocked open door and a welcome mat down there. So if I'm an ISIS guy who wants to come to the United States and wreak some havoc, I could either go through the screening, which the FBI director says isn't good enough, and at least face the U.S. government, or I could walk in and talk to nobody. I mean, if I'm looking at that, I know which one is the easier of the two, and that should scare Americans because there is no security down there.
Are there current threats because of that and other factors that exist in the United States? We keep hearing about pockets of refugees that have joined communities and are being recruited or possibly radicalized.
Well, if you look at places, Minneapolis, Dearborn have large Muslim migrant populations that have not assimilated. And then you look at Boston, the Tsarnaev brothers, who blew up the Boston Marathon and killed a bunch of Americans, came in as the kids of asylees. They weren't refugees, but pretty close to the same thing. And they went to a mosque in the Boston area that had 12 jihadis associated with it. People have been arrested for terror financing or, like the Tsarnaevs, actually killed Americans in terror acts.
I think if you ask people, Americans, what is our policy, what is our strategy now, they wouldn't be very clear on it. It seems to be evolving. What would you say it is?
I would say President Obama isn't very clear on our strategy to have one that looks like he wants to win. I mean, at this point, he seems to be perfectly okay with kicking the can down the road and letting somebody else deal with it. In this case, Vladimir Putin, the neighborhood bullies in town, and now the French are actually leading from the front and bombing a bunch of targets that, for some reason, we couldn't find for the previous weeks. Those fuel trucks were there. Those command and control centers were there. We just didn't have the will to hit them.
Thanks so much, Jim Hansen. Appreciate it.